When you think of Thomas in a theme park, what do you think of? Why, the Holy Trinity, of course. Thomasland Japan, Thomasland UK, and of course, my favorite, Thomasland USA, which is shut down. Go check out my video. Anyways, believe it or not, Thomas's presence in theme parks has not just been limited to these three. There's been tons more. Thomastown, Six Flags, all relatively well known, to be fair. But one I don't actually see talked about much is Drusillas Park. While at a glance it may just look like a regular old UK zoo, for years this actually held the very first Thomas attraction on British soil. And this year is the 100th anniversary of the park, so there's no better time than now to tackle it. So, let's take an in-depth look at Thomas at Drusillas Park. First off, a brief history of the park itself. 100 years ago, in 1925, Douglas Ann and his first wife, Drusilla, opened a tea college, rightly named Drusilla's Tea Cottage, located around East Sussex. Soon enough, this college made the abnormal transition into a zoo, the first animals being a kinkajou, a kangaroo, and a lemur. Now the zoo houses many of your favorite animals, such as the Sulawesi crested mock, the binturong, the fennec fox, and the best one, the lar gibbons. Yeah, I know my animals. In the 1930s, they opened a narrow gauge railway that could take passengers to Cuckmere River, where they could hire punts and canoes. More on this later. As the years went on, the ants continued to grow their property. What once was just a simple cottage where you could get a cuppa turned into a zoo and theme park hybrid. The history of this park is actually quite fascinating. I've linked the official history in the description if you're interested. Anyways, the zoo has quite a lot to do given its 10-acre size, including a discovery center, an indoor play center, interactive maze, and animatronic animals. I feel bad for that night guard. The park also has a mascot, an explorer named Mungo. He'll also be important later. Also, this park was home to the first Hello Kitty themed attraction in Europe, called Hello Kitty's Secret Garden. This would only have 3 rides and would last for 7 years before the partnership ended in 2021. But enough about the zoo. You guys are here for the Thomas section of the video, so let's get to that. After it was bought from the Ann family in 1997, Drusillas Park grew quite a bit. This includes some partnerships, like the Hello Kitty one, and of course, Thomas. In 2007, Drusillas announced a long-term partnership with Entertainment to have a Thomas-themed train ride. This ride was the only Thomas-themed attraction at the park, so it's not really a land as much as it is a train ride with Thomas. The Thomas was manufactured by Metabolao Emmeline, and was the very first appearance of this unit, beating Six Flags by a few months. However, unlike the future models, Thomas was an 042 for some reason. This also will be the first Thomas-themed attraction in the UK, beating Drayton Manor by almost a full year. Drusillas Park's Thomas & Friends Railway line opened on March 31st, 2007, and will provide daily services around the park 362 days a year. The £400,000 investment ensured that Thomas would stay there for 10 years, replacing the original narrow gauge railway. How sad. Anyways, here's how the ride would go. Guests would arrive at Timoth Hall to board Thomas's 2 or many faithful coaches, Annie, Clarabelle, and whatever these ones are named. Fun fact, Annie was wheelchair accessible, which is pretty cool. Thomas would then depart the station. Along the way, guests would pass Diesel in a siding, James and Tim's sheds looking, Sir Tom Had at Drow Station, Crank at the Soder Dockyard, and Bulgy, represented by an actual double-decker bus. They then would arrive back at Timoth Hall. At the station, there was also a buffet, and wait, that's it? Huh, no wonder this one was swept under the rug so much. That's really all there is for this ride. It was that loop and some food options. Of course, there were also some other things to keep everyone entertained, such as songs playing in the coaches, mainly the classic Thomas theme song, symbols to look out for, and Thomas trivia. On certain days, Sir Tom Hat came to visit on Fat Controller days. Good thing they had that buffet. To make things more fun, they would also do certain things to celebrate holidays. During Halloween, a spooky tunnel would be added, a tradition still kept to this day. And during Christmas, Thomas would be given earmuffs and a scarf to keep warm. Unsurprisingly, due to the small ride, no special merchandise would be made, like a wooden railway toy. What a tragedy. I would have loved my Cursed James 3-pack. Soon enough, the lease came to the 10-year mark, and the owners of Drusillas Park decided not to renew the license. Thus, Thomas was craned out of the park, stripped of life, and the ride was changed to look more generic. The Safari Express was opened on March 31st, 2017, on the 10th anniversary of the Thomas ride, funnily enough. All the soda theming was removed, and Mungo took charge of the railway. He took over the main station and sheds, but not Dryaw, which was changed to Kifaru Junction. In terms of the other characters, Diesel and Cranky were stripped of their lives, the double-decker bus was reverted back and then donated to a museum, and James was given mercy. Also, instead of the fat controller Kithari Junction, you'd see a rhino. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing, right? The trivia would also change to Safari jokes, and instead of the Thomas music, it would play The Lion Sleeps Tonight on loop. I'm sure that wouldn't get annoying. The only thing that didn't change was, surprisingly, Thomas's whistle. To this day, it still blows the iconic whistle, showing that the little blue engine is still in there under that disguise. Fun fact, the face is still around and is living in a shed currently. Alongside 2 new attractions, the train ride is now part of Go Safari, which represents a £1 million investment for the park. And that's really it. A small piece of both Drusillas and Thomas's history, but a cool one nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed this video. No legal issues this time, but that's probably a good thing. But what do you think? Do you find this interesting? Did you ever go to Drusillas Park while the Thomas ride was there? If so, did you enjoy it? Doing theme park videos has been really fun, and I'd love to do more. Let me know what Thomas theme park history I should do next. A few quick updates, I'm now monetized. You might have already noticed it with my last big video, that being all the real life Thomases, but I only got monetized after I finished the video. I'm not going to take up YouTube full time now, this channel will still be used for my passion for Thomas, but I figured I should monetize it so I can get a bit of money on the side. And I'm already working on the next big video, and it's one that I'm excited about. I can't wait for you all to see it. I'm also aware that the majority of content recently has been NW Tales compilations, but that's soon to change. I've got one more coming out this week, that being the complete season 4, and then I'll stop for a while. You guys surely have to be getting bored of them. And that'll be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.